Well, hey there, everyone. This is Dave Dubeau with another episode of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. Today, it's my pleasure to be talking with Aaron Moore, all the way from the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area. How are you doing today, Aaron?
Doing great, Dave.
That's fantastic. So if you're not familiar with Aaron, Aaron is a very, very experienced real estate entrepreneur. He's won multiple awards for the cool stuff he does. And what I find particularly fascinating about Aaron, coming from my marketing background, plus, my initial foray into real estate investing was doing kind of a little bit of the kind of stuff that you're doing now, Aaron, and finding motivated sellers and getting into kind of interesting kind of deals. Aaron's doing that in what many people think is, and probably is, the hottest market in Canada, which is Toronto. So he's able to find motivated sellers. He's able to find properties under market value, turn around, flip them, wholesale them, buy and hold them, do all sorts of great things. So really looking forward to learning from you here today, Aaron.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate being here. It's an honor. I've known about you for a long time, so probably over 10 years now, so it's good to be here.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, tell us a little bit about how you got into the whole crazy world of real estate investing in the first place.
Well, I think like many people, I got in slowly. First it started with, one real estate investing book, bought one property. And then it took a few years after that to actually experience it, to see it. And it was one property I brought. This is in my mid-20s, brought my housemates with me. And then after a few years, the equity's up, mortgage is paid down. I'm living there pretty much for free. And I said, I got to do more of this stuff. So that's when I started going to, local real estate investing groups. And at that point, after just seeing what one property can do, that's when I said, I got to do this full time and put a lot of effort into this.
Well, excellent. So how long was it from when you started to when you jumped into it full time? And did you jump into it full time, or did you kind of transition? And what were you doing with your job beforehand?
Yeah, I worked, corporate world. I was IBM, software, business analysis, all this internet software stuff. But it was about 4 to 5 years from when, like me and my brother first bought sort of a income property / we lived in it. And then it was, 4 or 5 years later, I was out doing this full time. And I'd say I jumped into it more than other people. Other people talk about, replacing your income first. Not me so much. I did more of the jump. I had a little cushion, right? Had some cushion, had some bit of cash in the bank. Not that much, but a little equity in a property, but I took the plunge.
Nice. Well, that's awesome. Yeah. So, Aaron, what is your main focus these days? Are you primarily a flipper, a wholesaler, a buy and hold kind of guy? I know you do a bit of everything, but what's your bread and butter?
Yeah, I'm certainly known as a wholesaler. That's what other investors know me as. And my bread and butter is really attracting those motivated sellers to private deals. And, from there, I've, honestly, I can say like a lot of my wealth has been built from buy and hold rental properties. So over the years, I've collected rental properties, but like ongoing, like every month we're wholesaling, we're flipping properties, and I collect some rentals along the way.
Nice.
So that's what I do, and that's what I'm known for.
Okay, so for folks that are watching this and are perhaps just kind of getting started in their real estate investing journey, Aaron, can you tell us why you think it's so important to become good at finding your own deals instead of relying on realtors and the MLS and all that kind of normal stuff?
Right.
That people think they should be doing.
Yeah. In the past, when I first started, I bought off MLS, and, sometimes it's a waiting game, but, the reality is there's all these deals out there. Some of them are going to end up as, if it's not me going after them, they're going to end up as the bank sales on MLS. The sheriff's going to come, they're going to lock these people out, and, they're going to be kicked out, and, maybe they'll go to a rental property, or who knows what they'll do. But, I can circumvent that by contacting them before the sheriff's coming to lock them, to change the locks and kick them out. Mm-hmm. So there's just a ton of crazy situations people get into, and they just need a fast, easy sale. And they're certainly more than happy. They expect to sell at a discount. Like, I'm not buying the prettiest houses out there, right? So these are fixer-uppers. Yeah. People it could be divorce problems. There's typically financial problems. It could be just, the house stinks, it's filthy, it's
order, something like that.
Yeah, orders, and people just want to get it. So the benefits to me and the other investors I wholesale to is, hey, we buy at a discount. And I have built all my rentals and my personal residence. All these properties, we use the I guess it's called the BRRRR strategy. We buy, we renovate, we rent, we refinance. So it's a way of bootstrapping your rentals. You're not sinking that much money into each rental you buy. It takes time, but it's certainly a good way to grow your portfolio over time.
Well, you kind of got the best of both worlds, right? Because you can find really good deals that you can add to your long-term buy and hold strategy, do the BRRRR method with. You can wholesale deals that you're not really interested in, but other investors are, so you're making a nice little pop of cash there. Could be a different property that you buy and you renovate instead of holding it as a rental. It's maybe not a great rental. You just flip it for a nice chunk of cash there too. So you kind of got the whole spectrum covered.
Yeah. And I've done a lot of, different, I've done these agreement for sale deals you hear about in Ontario a little bit. I've done, rent owns, I do private lending, but, these opportunities come up, but, at some point you got to kind of focus. And, it really is, the wholesaling, the fix and flipping, like that's what we do for, active income. Everyone likes a high income, right? So that's what we do for an income. The long-term wealth building, that's for me, that's, rental properties.
Makes sense. Yeah, definitely. So Aaron, let's dive into one of my favorite things, which is all about the marketing. Sounds like you're coming from a tech background. What are some of, if you don't mind sharing, what are some of the strategies or methods that you use to find or attract motivated sellers these days? Because I know what I used to do way back in the day, 2003, 2004, 2005. Times they are a changing. So I'm sure some of that stuff works really well today, but there's other newer, better stuff or newer stuff that might work better.
Yeah. Maybe it might be partially because I have a tech background, so I am very comfy with the internet. So I do a ton of internet marketing. I'm doing the pay-per-click to find motivated sellers, which often means, I'm sure most people know the Google ads. The people see the paid ads whenever you do a Google search. So I come up in there a lot. I have a strong SEO presence because I've been around a while, which means I come up in the organic searches as well, not just the paid ads. So that.
So in other words, if somebody types in "sell my house fast," or what would they be typing in?
People do to type in like "sell my house fast" in Toronto and surrounding areas, and I want cash for my house now. Things like this, just
fire. Yeah.
Urgent, motivated kind of terms that people would be typing in.
Okay.
That all be coming up, both paid and sometimes in the non-paid section. So I'm on both. That being said, over the years, I've done like letters. Sending letters to houses is still great because if you know the type of house you want to target, well, you know where they are, right? You can look them up or figure the neighborhood that has the types of properties you want. Or if you want, say, an apartment building, the owner of that apartment building and their mailing address is public record. You can go to the city hall and look at the tax records. And if you want to target the owner of that building, then you can do it, right? So there's definitely my top two favorite things are the internet and letters, like letters direct to either a specific house you want or the types of houses you want.
So if you're doing the type of houses that you want, are you targeting specific neighborhoods? Are you doing kind of like blanket, unaddressed ad mail type mailings, or what are you doing there? Yeah.
I am doing the unaddressed ad mail, the neighborhood mail. And for me, I like to go after neighborhoods, usually an older stock of housing that'll have the opportunity for rentals and for fix and flip. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going after, your big 4-bedroom, 2-car garage built in the last 10 years. I'm going after, adding the secondary suite is big around here. So we go after those kinds of houses. Once again, it's typically an older stock, but something, not the highest price point, but still enough space, a spacious enough house to put in a secondary suite. Like the standard bungalow still works well. We target those neighborhoods with the older bungalows.
And are you usually doing something like a postcard? Are you doing an actual letter? Are you doing the good old yellow letter that we've heard so much about? What's working for you?
Yeah, it's more like the letter style, the hand. I still like the handwritten letters, very personal, coming human to human.
Yeah.
And the thing about marketing is, okay, first you got to get it delivered, then you got to get it acknowledged or read, right?
Yeah.
So if it looks just like a piece of advertising, people often just throw it right in the garbage. Like, think about how many pretty colorful realtor postcards we get saying, house just listed in the neighborhood. I'm sure maybe some of us listen care because we're in real estate, but I think the average person probably just tosses them all, right?
Unless they're ready to list their house this minute.
Yeah. If the timing's right, then yeah, maybe the house, the realtor, pretty postcard will attract them. But I think everyone will look at, say, a handwritten letter. It doesn't really matter. You don't know what my handwritten letter is about from first glance. So it looks handwritten. It may be a photocopy of handwritten. Mm-hmm. Look at it, and you probably will read the first sentence or two. And if it doesn't attract your interest in the first sentence, yeah, you throw it in the garbage. But at least I got someone to read it and pay attention.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And if they see your next one coming down 6 months down the line, maybe their time and circumstances have changed. They're a little bit more open to it. So I imagine you've been doing this for years now. So I imagine you've got people that are coming around a couple of years after you've actually sent them the first message.
True enough. Just this year, I had someone call me who got a letter back in 2012. I know because of the specific area it went to, and so people hold on to these letters for a while.
Yeah, no, that's I always found that fascinating.
Yeah.
Aaron, well, that's cool. Now, one of the things that kind of frustrates me about being up here in Canada is that I watch what the Americans are doing and how much easier it is for them to access information and find out, they can find out online who the hell's behind on their mortgage payments and all these kind of things, and get in there and get letters in there. Is there anything like that available for us here in Canada these days? Or you just
I'm still a little envious of all these lists I hear about the Americans getting their hands on. But, there are certain things, cities around here still have tax sales. So, but I think around here, not really getting a list of the people and their phone numbers and their mailing addresses. But there are lists of the properties going up for tax sale in a few weeks. So, there you could, target the properties, and I guess you could find out the owner's information. So you can dive into these things. Also, I know in some cities, so Toronto has like bylaw infractions are publicly available on the internet. There's a website. You search neighborhoods and find out whose grass got too long and the city got called and this sort of thing.
Yeah, well, that'd be a good clue, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have you done any of that kind of stuff yourself, or you just kind of focus on, you don't need to because you're focusing on what you're already doing?
I haven't hit it too hard, but we do, pay attention a little bit to the bylaws. But it's more like if we're buying or working on a house in a certain area, we'll probably drop off some flyers at ones nearby that have bylaw infractions or things like that.
Yeah, very, very cool. Now, what about the good old things like bandit signs, vehicle signage, all that kind of stuff? You doing any of that kind of stuff? Tear-down signs, all that?
I still have some of those outdoor signs. I like to call them outdoor signs, but yeah, they're bandit signs. I still have
Canadian. We got to be politically correct. There you go.
Yeah. I've done well with them over the years. As my brand has gotten bigger, I've sort of done less because
they find you easier. That's why, right?
They find me easier, yeah. So I think it's better for the new guys starting out, honestly.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
There's ways to do it, and there are ways to do it and stay within the bylaw rules. So you can do that too. It just takes a lot more work and effort.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most unique one I heard of was a buddy of mine in Edmonton who hired pizza delivery guys to put them up Friday afternoon and take them down Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
So when all the bylaws guys weren't working, that worked pretty well for him. So
you can work it within the bylaws, but it takes a lot of time and effort.
Excellent. Yeah, no, that's very, very true. Well, Aaron, this is a lot of fun. I mean, I love talking about marketing and creative ways of finding motivated sales because, again, like you said, that's typically where the best deals can be found. Anytime a realtor or a bank gets in the middle, it just mucks things up. It messes things up. So if you can deal directly, eyeball to eyeball, knee to knee with the seller, it works so much better.
Yeah, and you're going to be like working directly with the seller is you can tailor your solution. You can solve their problem. You can find out their problem. Like if there's middlemen, then it's really hard to find out the problems. But I can find out exactly their ideal moving time. Are they broke? Like often the sellers I deal with, a lot of them are broke. They don't have moving money. Yes. So it's we do things like delayed. We basically close sooner and they can move out later, so that you get your money now, and you got plenty of money because most of the properties I'm buying, they have plenty of equity, so they got plenty of money to take their time, and it could be buy a house next, or they've got first and last for their next rental, or moving money for a moving truck. So we can just tailor the solution so it fits them, and the price is sort of secondary if we can give them everything else they need.
Right. They're not as picky about the price because you're more flexible on the other things.
That's right.
What their needs are. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So Aaron, a quick question as we're just kind of wrapping up. How do you typically finance most of these deals? Are you going in with investor partners? How do you typically buy all cash? What do you do?
Yeah. There's a few different ways. I definitely have a stable of private lenders, so people who will lend me a mortgage, and you do need private lenders in this business because a lot of them, like I mentioned, they're fixer-uppers. Banks won't finance them because they're in bad condition. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we do close really fast, and sometimes under a week. And hey, a bank's not going to move that fast. No. So, yeah, I also have over time I've built up. I have lines of credit on some of my rentals, so I do have access to cash or cash equivalents, so I can buy without mortgage if we really have to act fast. But probably my average one is a private lender still, and occasionally, and over the years I certainly have used plenty of bank mortgages, but they seem to be getting tougher and tougher, and the more rentals you accumulate, the tougher it is, and just more paperwork to get a bank mortgage. So the more properties you have, the less bank mortgages you want to get.
Yeah, definitely. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Aaron, this has been great. If people want to find out more about Aaron Moore and what you're up to, what would you recommend that they do?
Well, they can, people often want to get access to our wholesale properties, so they can go to housedealsgta.ca. That's our website. And we're going across Southern Ontario, so we're expanding out of the GTA. We're even going out to Ottawa in 2020. I know if people just want a quick and dirty way to get on our buyers list, they can text at 647-560-2111 and just text your email address and get right on our buyers list. And you can also let us know more details about what you want. But yeah, it's just 647-560-2111. And they can contact us through our housedealsgta.ca website. Talk with me, Tamomi, who will be answering the phones most of the time, and ask us any questions as well.
Awesome. Very good. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you very much for sharing some of your wisdom and your experience.
My pleasure, Dave. Thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. Take care, and we'll talk to you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Well, thanks very much for checking out the Property Profits podcast. And if you like what we're doing here, please head on over to iTunes, subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. Be very, very much appreciated. And if you're looking to create a regular flow of inbound investor inquiries about your real estate deals, then I invite you to attend one of my upcoming live online demonstrations. And you can check that out at investorattractiondemo.com. Take care.